want to welcome everyone to CryptoMove and CircleCI Orb's webinar. Today, you're going to be hearing from engineers and a developer advocate from CryptoMove and CircleCI. Next slide, please. Before we get started, next slide, Nick. Thanks. Hello, Nick?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it's a little bit laggy. Can you get the next slide, please?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks. One back.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a little bit laggy today.
Your introduction?
Yes, please. Yeah,
Okay,
so
cool.
Today for the webinar, I'll be the MC or the host of the webinar. My name is Angel Rivera. I'm a developer advocate from CircleCI. And today, we're going to be hosting this webinar. I'll be kind of moderating it for Nick. So Nick, would you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name is Nick. I'm a software developer at CryptoMove. We are a data security company based in Oakland, California. You can follow us on Twitter and at GitHub at CryptoMove, and you can also check out our website at www.cryptomove.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, so today's agenda is basically going to be an intro to CircleCI Orbs by me. Then I'll turn it over to Nick so he can speak to you all about CryptoMove, their products, and then I believe Nick's going to be going into a CryptoMove and CircleCI Orbs kind of demo. So that'll be interesting to see. And then at the end, we'll open it up for questions. If you're going to ask any questions or you want to ask any questions during the during or after the webinar, go ahead and push the QA button at the bottom of the Zoom client there, and you should get like a dialogue, and then you should be able to ask your questions there if you have any. And please do ask questions if there's something that you have interest in or need some more explanation on. Next slide, please. Yeah, so before we get into anything, let's talk to all of you about CircleCI. I'm pretty sure most folks are aware of who we are and what we do, but for those of you that don't, CircleCI is basically a continuous integration, continuous delivery deployment platform that enables developers to build, test, and deploy their code using automation. Now, CircleCI, we're basically the meat and potatoes of our platform is the CircleCI configuration, which is where you specify and define your CI/CD pipelines for the platform to execute. Now, in the past, these configuration files were getting really large for some of our customers, and that was due to the fact that there was a lot of repeat code. The configurations are based in YAML, and YAML is a data structure, right? So within YAML, there really wasn't a way to define variables or parameters, right, which help reduce the amount of repeat in the code. So having all that feedback from our user base, our engineers, prioritize some of the tasks on the list for features, and we created this concept of orbs, which essentially is reusable, shareable packages of CircleCI configuration. And the way we achieve that is by creating a parameterization within YAML and then modifying the platform to accept these parameterizations, right? So now that you're able to, have basically variables within your YAML, you're able to reduce the amount of code using encapsulation. Next slide, please. Great. So this is an example of a very simple orb, right? It's a templatization of your YAML, and the orb, as you can see, is basically composed of three elements, which are the commands, right? Steps that can be invoked in the job. The executor, so that's where you define the runtime, where to run this code and these jobs, and then the job itself, right? So is the configuration for your particular execution of commands. Next slide, please. Next slide, please, Nick.
The existing integrations? It may be a little laggy on my side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think so. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
a screen that partner orbs and CircleCI orbs. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so basically what we've done is since the launching of Orbs, a lot of our partners or vendors that are used by our customers within CircleCI, we've connected with them and we've created these partnerships so that they can bring their products, right, to the users within CircleCI in an easy fashion. And they're doing that by creating their own orbs for their specific products. Today we're going to be talking about CryptoMove. They created an orb that basically enables CircleCI users and CryptoMove users to easily integrate CryptoMove's capabilities within their pipelines. Next slide, please. Yeah, and with Orbs, there's a couple of examples and resources. So if you're interested, I forgot to mention, we do have an Orbs registry where everything is kind of managed online, right, by CircleCI. You can also develop your own Orbs, right? So if you have some particular executions that you need to commit or create and execute within your pipelines, you can also create your own specific orbs, right, that do custom actions for your specific needs. And anyway, this is a good link here or document, that slide that has all the documents and links to things. I believe that when we post this webinar on YouTube, we'll be able to have links to that in the YouTube description or comments. And if anyone wants this afterwards, just ping me in questions and answers or in chat, and I'll try to get this out to you, so you have all in one place. I believe you're up, Nick.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for the intro, Angel. And yeah, CryptoMove, like I briefly explained earlier, is a data security company. And our secret sauce is we developed a technology called moving target defense. What that means is that instead of your data being stationary and sitting in one place, we constantly shuffle your data around. And the way we do that is we shard your data into many little pieces, and then we constantly rotate those pieces around a cluster of nodes. Therefore, instead of having a single server which may contain your encrypted information, your shards are constantly moving, and it makes it much harder for someone to get that information. What we have done with CircleCI is we have developed an orb that makes it easy for you to get your secrets that you have stored on our system, the CryptoMove Key Vault, and declaratively import them into your CircleCI CI and CD jobs. So you can check us out at app.cryptomove.com. I will go over a little bit more detail when I show a demo of how this orb works. But this pretty much is how it looks. You can upload secrets. We can also upload files and pretty much any other type of data. We are a data security company, and we're kind of ambivalent to what type of data you would like to store within our system. And here is what a detailed view of one secret looks like. You'll notice that we provide versioning of secrets. You can tag various secrets. Based on those tags, you can create authentication tokens. Let's say I only want all the AWS keys. Based on that cloud type, you can basically create an authentication token that only pulls from the AWS keys. I could share these secrets with my coworkers and my team, and you could have an audit trail of when the secrets were accessed, when they expire, etc. We also offer a API and a CLI. You can check that out at docs.cryptomove.com. It will give you a little detail about how to do everything you can do on our website via a programmatic interface. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Our orb you could check out. It's CryptoMove/CryptoMove, and we'll go over how to integrate this. It's pretty simple. You just declare the orb, and you have to run two commands. One is to install the utility. The other one is to run a command with all of your CryptoMove stored secrets as sourced as environment variables. We'll go over what that looks like in just a bit. So yeah, so why would you want to do this? One, we offer a extra security standard for your data. That is the moving target defense that you could find out on our website, www.cryptomove.com. We also offer the auditing trail, the sharing features, the metadata features that are unique to storing environment variables. And like I said, this is all other types of data. So any data that you want to have a more refined access control around, potentially you could use our system to handle that for you. So our use case is pretty much any CI/CD job with our CircleCI Orb that uses environment variables. We lean heavily on the 12-factor application paradigm, which was proffered by Heroku. Basically, any time you have like global constants in your application, like API keys or database passwords, those can typically be environment variables. And our Orb allows you to import, export those environment variables and seamlessly just declare the Orb up top and then import, export those. So yeah, let's take a look at what it looks like. Here is our CircleCI Orb file. Sorry, our CircleCI config file. And you'll notice it's got much simpler because of the orbs. These are the same configuration files Angel was talking about that were long, but could be a lot shorter once you declare orbs. So the first thing is you got to make sure your version is 2.1. That is the version that enabled orbs. Next, you need to import our orb. Here we're calling our orb Folos, but this could literally be any name. We're importing CryptoMove /CryptoMove version 0.0.2. And this is the command we're running, and the environment variable secret sauce is going to be stored on CryptoMove itself. So that's pretty much it. If you go through the steps of our job itself, the checkout is something that comes from CircleCI itself. This pretty much just means check out the repository from Git, whether that's stored on GitHub or Bitbucket, and pull that into your environment. The install command installs our CLI onto the container that runs your job. Our Orb is pretty much a wrapper around our CLI, which you could also install from cli.cryptomove.com, and we have information about that on our docs website. And then the run command allows you to run any type of bash command with those keys and secrets that you have stored on our store, source as environment variables. So here we're running a command that says, is the secret sauce environment variable marinara? If that's true, then we'll just return true, which basically gives an exit status 0, which in CircleCI means the job is success. And that will give an exit one. And anytime other than 0, be by the appropriate. We check out our key. I could log in here to app.cryptomove.com. And if you're interested in seeing the source code itself, it's just github.com/cryptomove/simpleCI. You'll notice in here I have the secret sauce variable. And if I take a look at the value of the secret sauce variable, it's going to be marinara. So pretty simple. And then from there, we'll run the job itself. And you'll notice this is the job itself, is the secret sauce marinara. We'll notice that's true. There is no output in this command. You have to like print to the system itself for like one of these Ruby commands to actually have an output. But it's pretty simple. Our Orb does 3 commands. First, it checks if curl exists. We use curl to install the CLI into your container. If that's true, we move on to the next step, which is installing the CLI utility onto your container. And then from there, we'll source your environment variables. We'll notice that the secret sauce is the same one you have here. It equals, sorry. It equals marinara right here. So for this ternary operator, we're just going to return true and exit out. You could do this with any other type of environment variables stored in your machine, and as long as it's declared and as long as your authentication token has read access to those variables, such as like the AWS authentication token we talked about earlier, you'll be able to source all of those as environment variables and then run your command appropriately. So that's pretty much it. As a summary, we are a team-based approach to data security. One of those use cases is environment variables, which you could use in your CircleCI jobs. And we could apply that paradigm to any type of data you want to store. Our benefit is the audit trail, this our secret sauce, which is keeping data constantly moving behind the scenes. And yeah.
Hi, Nick. It seems like you were chopping up that last slide. Do you mind repeating it? Or it might be better if you maybe knock your video down. It might be consuming quite a bit of bandwidth.
I guess I'll just stop sharing my screen. The demo, I guess, was done with the demo. So our last slide was just a summary slide, which encourages you to check out www.cryptomove.com, where you can learn more about our system and learn more about the values of moving target defense and our team-based approach to data security.
Great. So currently, if anybody has any questions, please feel free to submit them via the QA button at the bottom. But yeah, thanks for the explanation, Nick, and the demo. I have a question while we wait for maybe some folks to ask questions. Oh, wait, there is one. Here we go. There's two. Oh. So, yeah, one of the questions I have is, what is a moving target defense?
Okay, cool. So we initially came out of Military Accelerator, and the premise was people were worried that encryption could always be broken. You think about Moore's Law and computers getting more powerful and powerful, all encryption algorithms eventually become obsolete. So the secret sauce underlying moving target defense is your attack vector has gone from one machine, which you can attack at any time and decrypt that information, to now a whole network that you have to capture within the delta of when your shards move from node to node within our cluster. And without taking the whole network at the same time, you don't have the information to eventually decrypt. So that's the secret sauce behind moving target defense.
Oh, cool. So it's kind of like a roving blockchain, I guess, right? Where the bits are just, being moved around to different resources so that no one can get like a true capture of the data at any given time, right?
Yeah, it's much harder to do so. And to attack it, kind of works like blockchain, where maybe like 50% of the nodes need to verify a transaction in a blockchain. With CryptoMove, you need n number of nodes that you pre-configure in order to put the data back together.
Awesome. So I guess another question I have is, what's the common, what's the performance like? I mean, you're doing a lot of encryption. There's a lot of moving pieces, right, on the platform. What kind of, performance are you getting out of CryptoMove, and also how do you optimize that system, right, for performance, obviously?
Yeah, so our system has some caching technology underneath it. If something is read a lot, we don't move it as often, but yet we make it seem cryptographically that the individual shards have moved. And when it comes to environment variables, these are usually strings that are in the bytes range. They're not massive gigabyte or larger files. And the read performance has pretty much always been less than 100 milliseconds. So when it comes to using them for your CircleCI jobs, we haven't seen that big of an impact in terms of performance.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's pretty cool that someone's kind of cracked that, right? As far as that's a big problem that we had in the past with the older ciphers and technologies and such. So interesting. So I don't see any other questions. Let me take another look here. Yeah, so I don't see any questions from the crowd. So again, if anyone has any questions, now's the time to ask.
Yeah, you could always check out our website. We have a chat bot in the lower right where you could ask us questions, and we'll be available anytime.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's almost 1/2 past. I don't see any questions, so I guess we'll call it a day, if that makes sense. You have anything to add, Nick, before we?
No, thanks. We definitely found it pretty easy to build an orb, so we encourage all of you to check that out too. There's a great command line utility where you basically just authenticate to CircleCI and then publish it. They also have a great team. Shout out to Rose, who helped us author the orb itself from the CircleCI team. Yeah, thanks for hosting the webinar, Angel. We appreciate it.
Oh, no worries. And thank you, Nick, for showing us CryptoMove. And hopefully we'll do another one with some even bigger data, right?
Yeah, sounds
in the
good.
pipelines. All right. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. And we're going to end this now. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.